Competition. Starting off with JD Trey 247 in the city. Pursuing the board in a way that's anything but boring. Dazzling 360 putback jam. That's how you build your name in Next Gen. Over to the wreck with Mr. 2K all day. When 3 defenders run to you, do you shy away or do you rise to the challenge? More defenders just make for a better poster. And check out that elevation. Sweet. Swinging over to ante up with low key. Doesn't it bug you when people paint guard? Buy a one-way ticket to Basket City. It's beautiful this time of year. What with the leaves falling along with the VC of your opponent. So refreshing. Finally, it's J. Harrell HT in the W. Sharp crossover sends the defender looking for a contact lens on the court to save face. And is that a little gymnastics after?
Philadelphia, home to one of the NBA's most historic teams, the 76ers. Here are the players arriving earlier in the mood for action. A look from above and for a look at out and nothing.
Kevin, thanks.
David, he is showing that maturity. Thanks for that report. Here's the starting group for the Indiana Pacers. They've got Harrell and VanVleet out there with LaVine. Then it's Robinson and it's Beasley in at the 3 slot. And for Philadelphia, Tobias Harris is out there with Mike Scott. Then there's Ben Simmons. Then there's Matisse Thybulle. And it's Embiid in at the 5 down low. Now here's Beasley for 3. VanVleet drops in the tray. 2 of the hottest teams, Greg, getting together tonight. This is highly anticipated.
And you know what, Kevin, the trick to winning a game like this, force your opponent to play your style of basketball. That could determine who goes home with the W.
I like it. So the Indiana Pacers able to put the first points up on the board. Embiid inside, covered by VanVleet.
Boy, Embiid wants to own the inside on both sides of the floor. He is a force in the paint and relishes hitting those boards.
3-pointer. LaVine can't hit.
And Tobias Harris, a crusader for a cause that isn't talked about too much. He has a huge concern about sleep deprivation and the effects it has on athletes.
Yeah, you know what, Greg? While it's not talked about a lot, it is gaining ground in all kinds of circles, particularly in the world of sports, the whole sleep deprivation idea. And Harris is a guy who's conscientious and thoughtful. I love the fact that he's bringing this to his teammates' attention because it's critical. And he's certainly passionate about it. We'll see how much wind it gets. him speaking up on it.
Beasley outside. Robinson against Embiid. LaVine for three. Scott pulls it in. The 76ers have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Passes it to Thibault. And Zach LaVine gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And the 76ers will go for a different look here. Dwight Howard, he's checked in for Mike Scott. Green comes in for Harris. Shake Milton, he's checked in for Matisse Thybulle. And Curry subbed in for Ben Simmons. Caldwell Pope with a wide open look drills the three-pointer.
I think Caldwell Pope has done a nice job developing into a legit deep ball threat.
Outside, Green. Pass to Embiid. Howard trying to free himself up. And there's Embiid. That's good on the assist by Green.
He's looking confident right from the opening tip.
Thomas against Curry. Caldwell Pope on the wing. And again, it's the Pacers from deep.
And off to ending here early from long range.
Lighting it up from outside. Hard to keep up with this.
Milton kicks to Curry. And the pass to Embiid. Just 5 to shoot. Takes a 3. They get the rebound. Howard. And he comes up with the deuce.
Such a great rebounder. Athleticism and length. Dwight Howard knows how to use those gifts that he possesses.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. Pacers lead by 4. And the second quarter about to get started. In chatting earlier with Ben Simmons, he addressed the scrutiny that players have to deal with on a daily basis.
For me, it comes with blocking criticism from people I don't really need to hear from. You know, I don't mind. Everyone has their opinion. Everyone's going to say something, which is fine. But at the same time.
And with social media now, Greg, blocking out the noise has become for these players even harder.
I mean, truth is, people like to criticize others. We should be celebrating what Simmons has accomplished at a very young age.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. Let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Indiana.
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for Indiana, they've got Pau Gasol, Caldwell Pope out there with Rudy Gay, then it's Thomas, and it's Caruso in at the two-guard spot.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Offensive rebound, Caruso, the pass to Gasol. Caldwell Pope for 3. Good in the assist.
about the last 5 made shots have all been threes. The defense is just giving up a barrage.
Most teams get the message to cover shooters after 1 or 2 wide open looks at the three-point shot, but it seems like they have just not figured it out.
And here is Curry following the three-pointer from Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. From deep, Green. And the 76ers get it back. Gay with the block.
Gay using his reach and bounce to perfection to block the shot.
Thomas kicks to Gay. Pass to Caldwell-Pope for the three. And Indiana, another three.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Yeah, and they either have been unwilling or unable to take that shot away.
And the 76ers will go for a different look here. Scotty's checked in for Embiid. Harris comes in for Danny Green. Matisse Thybulle checked in for Shake Milton. And it's Ben Simmons in for Curry. Now here's Simmons. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game.
And what a factor Ben Simmons is on the floor. He does so much for this team in every facet of the game. He's a triple-double threat whenever he suits up.
And sometimes people forget just how young Ben Simmons is, Greg. This is just the beginning for him.
I mean, and that's what fans are missing about Simmons. His age. I mean, you can worry about his shot, but he has a long time to figure it out. He could end up having a Jason Kidd type of a career where he becomes a solid shooter later on. Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think.
That's exactly how you send it. 2 hands and down.
And guys, not much more a defender can do in that situation. Harrell with the focus and the strength to just power through the contact.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
And of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
And I don't think there's any question about it, guys. He's got to bring that percentage up. I mean, those are the kind of free throw numbers that will get you in a coach's doghouse and get your teammates a little mad at you.
Kicks it out to Beasley. Fires from deep. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Beasley's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Simmons feeling it out a bit. Harris outside. Inside. Here's Scott. Rebound by Harrell.
Well, you know, this is what happens. You can't afford to lose concentration even for a nanosecond.
He gets it in there.
Sensational ball movement there. When you pass the ball like that, good things happen.
And so it's the Indiana Pacers. And we'll see if they can keep up their...
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back. For the Pacers, the first quarter was pretty even. They had a 4-point advantage at the end of the period. They were strong at the... Thanks for joining us.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope really making a difference here.
Yeah, he's just been raining down on him from deep here. Talk about dialed in.
Well, you know, the stroke looks fantastic. Even when he's had a hand in his face, it hasn't affected him at all.
Mike Scott out there with Embiid. Then there's Harris. Then there's Matisse Thybulle. And it's Simmons in at the 1. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Doc Rivers. You know, Greg, we can all agree that Joel Embiid's a superstar in the league with this play, but you get the feeling...
Oh, yeah! Are you kidding me?
Nasty. Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark.
And guys, I know there are a lot of questions right now defensively for this team. There's no doubt about that.
Indiana leading by 12 to the inside. Good, and VanVleet gets the assist. VanVleet's got his third assist on the night.
Yeah, that's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Here's Simmons. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
I'll tell you what, does not matter what the defense throws his way. The heart of Simmons allows him to play through that, and he's still going to knock the shot down.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game. You know, Greg, you'd probably know as well as anyone, what was it like going up against the Bulls in the 90s?
You know, it's weird to say, but in a lot of ways, we were a lot like they were. Hall of Fame talent at the coach, a defensive-minded team, but the one difference was, you know, the Bulls had that guy that wore that number 23. I think I'd say that might have been the one difference.
Guys, it's always fun to watch a player ascend from role player to star, and that's exactly what's happened with LaVine, and it's been fun to watch.
They kick it out to Green. Simmons passes to Embiid. Robinson with the block. Passes it to LaVine, and LaVine throws it down.
You don't want to leave guys free when Thomas has the ball. He's really good at finding the open man. Solid possession there.
Harris outside. That one, no good. Nice D from LaVine. And here's Gay. He'll bring it up for the Pacers. 16-point lead, the largest margin in the game. The 76ers have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. Simmons finds Green. And here is Curry. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist.
Yeah, they call him Dancing Danny Green, and you can see why. Excellent offensive instincts there.
Caldwell Pope outside. Off target from three-point range. 76ers have gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field. Simmons. Harris trying to get free, and with that shot, the Indiana lead is cut down to just 12 points with the basket from Ben Simmons. Thomas passes to LaVine. Robinson kicks to LaVine. And then LaVine with the jam.
And you see why LaVine's been a hard, tough out in the slam dunk contest. Has a natural ability to entertain the audience, and that bounce and athleticism certainly doesn't hurt either.
Simmons on the wing. Over Thomas. Misses there. Fell through 3 quarters of play. Down double digits. It may be difficult to overcome. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery.
And they'd love to see every possession end this way. True team basketball.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. And a look at the 5 for the Pacers to start the fourth quarter. We've got Fred VanVleet. Rudy Gay is out there with Montrezl Harrell. Then it's Malik Beasley. And it's Caldwell Pope in at the 2 spot. Simmons passes to Milton. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons got 3 assists tonight.
Guys, the passing ability and IQ of Ben Simmons, both amazing. Seems to have a knack for hitting guys in their spots. His vision, excellent.
The 76ers trail by 16. Outside, Simmons. Stolen by Caldwell Pope. Pass to Gay. And here is VanVleet. Guarded by Simmons. Here's Harrell. Gay trying to break free. And it's Harrell missing. And for the 76ers, they're shooting well. 50% for the floor. Thibault kicks to Howard. And there's a minute 45 left in the fourth quarter of this one. 5 on the clock. The pass to Thibault. It's up a 3. It's rebounded by Indiana. VanVleet right side. And Harrell slams it in.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence presence in this matchup with authority, very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for the Pacers.
Not only did they shoot the ball better, but they had more assists.
Yeah, I thought the passing in terms of finding the open man gave them the higher percentage shots. The ball movement was key for the win.
And so they'll stretch their victory total to 19 on the season.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
We know familiarity breeds contempt. I would expect things to become more heated as these teams face each other going forward.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Fred VanVleet.
Well, I thought he was their catalyst tonight, guys. Moving the rock, actively looking to set other guys up. Outstanding work.
Hey, Clark, how about the 20th pick back in that 2019 draft?
You're right, Greg. His defense. He's a terror defensively.
So he gets them both. There's 57 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And it's blocked. But they get it back. Outside Gasol. Payton passes to VanVleet. Second chance shot. He takes it up and lays it in. And the Pacers lead by 20.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
Boy, a fantastic performance. And I'll tell you something, I mean, you get roadkill, that's always a challenge in the NBA, no matter what. And they got it done.
23 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. He gets that one.
And credit the whole team. It was a focused, concerted effort to put this one away.
Yeah, what a time to put the hammer down. Any hope of a comeback diminished.
Now, here's Maxey. Not a lot of room. And here's Harris from the arc. Drains it from beyond the arc.
And over time, as his game has evolved, Harris has accepted a bigger, expanded role. Knows he has the green light.
So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which they're...
We have more upcoming tip segments in future episodes of NBA 2K TV, so now we want to hear from you. What would you like to know in those segments?
Answer below, and if you don't see what you're looking for, make sure you share with us over social media using the hashtag 2KTVTips.
And of course, you can follow us on social media at NBA2K_2KTV.
Hit that follow button and do it right now. That's all we have for you this week. Thanks for joining.
See you next episode.
Bye.
And in the locker room, each guy has been going over and through his own routine to get ready. They've got the #1 record in the conference, and because of it, each night out, their competition is going to bring it right at them.
And right now for the Pacers, they've been a revelation here in the early going. Some people, including myself, had doubts about their plan coming into the season, but no question, it's working.
You know, it just looks to me like they're having fun out there, and sometimes that's contagious. It drives success. This is beautiful.
Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. You've got Fred VanVleet, Beasley out there with Montrezl Harrell. Then it's Zach LaVine, and it's Robinson in at the center position. And for Memphis, Morant and Brooks manning the backcourt. Jackson and Valanciunas, they're in the middle. And it's Anderson in at the 3, the small forward. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it. Craig, too early to start talking about MVP for this year. We're mid-season.
You know, we've gotten to a point now where we start talking MVP at the start of the season. You know, people just love to talk sports at this point, especially when it comes to the most prestigious individual awards out there. I think you can make a case and sway some opinions with your play this time of year, but I like to let it all play out before I start focusing on that.
Things can change in a hurry, can't they, in a season?
Yes, they can.
Let it play out.
Well, you love the unselfishness of Fred VanVleet. This guy is so good recognizing when his teammates are open.
Brooks, the best of Valanciunas. 1:49 left in the first quarter. And there's the pass to LaVine. And the jam by LaVine.
Boy, what explosiveness. What force around the rim by Zach LaVine.
Each trip down becoming more important.
And you need to string some successful offensive possessions together and play tough D.
Here's Jackson. That's tipped. He shoot again. Valanciunas, good.
And that ends the struggle. You can feel the tensions in the building with each miss.
And you've got to be able to show some resiliency, right? Keep pounding away, and it finally falls for you.
And the rejection by Valanciunas.
Heads-up defensive play by Jonas Valanciunas. The alert, the aware, the always ready to send it back.
Pacers have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Beasley dishes to Harrell, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Morant against VanVleet. And that one's good, Morant.
And I'm amazed at Morant's ability to take contact and still stay in full control.
For 3, Beasley. Good, and VanVleet gets the assist. VanVleet's got 4 assists in the game. For Memphis, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field. VanVleet against Morant. Passes to Valanciunas. And the 3 off target. Pacers leading by 10. A finish, and it's Beasley finishing it off.
And what a way to start this game, dominating at both ends of the floor.
And give them credit for approaching this game with the right energy and intensity. This team has attacked every chance they've gotten.
Here's Morant. 3 seconds left. And so it's Indiana enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. Their defense has been terrific in this game. And we'll be back with you shortly. And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And quite a position here for the Pacers to be in. What do you guys think?
They just came into this game with the mindset of sharing the basketball.
When you keep everyone involved at the offensive end, it keeps everyone engaged in other areas as well.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So on the floor for Memphis, they've got Powell. Brandon Clark is out there with Winslow. Then there's John Morant. And it's Melton in at the 2 spot. Thomas kicks to Caldwell Pope. No good on the 3. The Grizzlies trail by 10. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin. John Morant says in an era of 5-star recruits, he was a no-star recruit coming out of high school. And That put that big chip on his shoulder. Now he has "beneath no one" tattooed on his arm. He says, "My dad always told me that I was trained to go." Basically, that I'm built for the moment. And guys, his time is now.
Sure is, DA. Thank you. Pass to Morant. And here's Winslow. There's 1:40 left to play here in the second quarter. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Melton. The Pacers pull it in. Last time they met was in Indiana.
Yeah, they cruised to a win in these teams' last encounter, and their field goal percentage was off the chart. Really, the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
The Pacers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Gorgie Dangs checked in for the Grizzlies. And it's out of bounds. The Grizzlies able to retain possession here. Brooks checked in for the Grizzlies. Robinson's checked in for Indiana. Red VanVleet comes in for Alex Caruso. Memphis moving that ball around. Pass to Brooks. Here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. To the paint, here's Gay. Some solid defense from Clark.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Whistle blows, basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
A tough start scoring the basketball, but they're starting to turn it around now.
Grizzlies making a switch here. Anderson's checked in. Indiana also making some changes. Harrell, he's checked in for Gay. Malik Beasley comes in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And Zach LaVine subbed in for Isaiah Thomas.
The potential is there. For Clark, it's about expanding the range so that it makes him more versatile offensively.
Clark against Harrell. Outside, LaVine. 6 to shoot. Indiana needs to get a shot off. For 3, VanVleet. The Grizzlies pull it in. 16 seconds left here in the second. And here is Brooks. A 3. The shot misses. And that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. Pacers lead by 5. Live from the FedEx Forum, you're watching 2K Sports.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Program. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And you look at Zach LaVine, dynamic athlete, highly skilled. Shaq, what does he need to work on to be mentioned with the top guards in the game?
I would say scoring, consistency, and making more plays for others, making other plays.
Yeah, I think so. More stops defensively, but leading his team to more wins. Whatever that takes, that's what he has to do.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks for joining us. Third quarter, just about ready.
Half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. You look at Zach LaVine, he's really been playing well.
And even with the defense shading towards him on every trip down, he still finds a way to come up big.
Well, he knows they're coming for him, but he's accustomed to that kind of attention, and he's quite comfortable dealing with it.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. Pacers leading by 5. On the court right now for the Pacers. Montrezl Harrell is out there with Mitchell Robinson. Then it's Zach LaVine. Then it's Malik Beasley. And it's VanVleet in at the 1 spot. Boy, your alma mater, UNLV, Greg, has produced some great NBA players over the years. I mean, so many great names.
No doubt about it. Listen, I got a special place in my heart for my former teammates Larry Johnson and Stacey Augmon.
Right.
But also guys like Sean Marion. You go back to Reggie Theus, who was a tremendous player. And right now in the league, you got Kim Birch, dunk champ Derrick Jones, and an up-and-comer in Christian Wood.
Good mentions.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. The pass to Valanciunas. And another basket for Memphis.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Count that one from VanVleet. And the Pacers lead by 8.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible. And boy, that's a terrific start right there.
Back to Anderson. Lost contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working to get inside and getting good shots from close range.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Powell, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. And it's DeAnthony Melton in for Dylan Brooks. Thomas, no good. The Grizzlies trail by 5. Here's the floater.
You got to respect those long arms of Gay. I mean, superb at swatting shots away. Put those big hands.
Anderson outside. Powell finds Morant. And 1:01 left in the third quarter. Jackson has the open look. And again, Memphis no good. And here's Gasol. He'll bring it up for Indiana. They've held a 12-point lead earlier.
And Caldwell Pope, explosive off the floor. He can catch you unawares with his dunking.
Gay against Jackson. Poke loose. Oh, and here comes Gay all alone. And the jam by Rudy Gay.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now. Morant drives in and finished off by Morant.
How about the authority from Morant? The way he was running, you knew he was aiming to shot at the rim.
Outside for Caldwell Pope. 6-second difference between shot and game clock.
Well, nice job crashing the glass. You'd love to see that kind of effort.
Here's Morant. The Pacers pull it in. Here's Caruso. Thomas passes to Gay. With 1 on the clock. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And so it's Indiana bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. We come back right after this. Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. The Grizzlies trail by 7. Morant and Brooks manning the backcourt. Clark is out there with Corky Gang. And it's Winslow in at the 3 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. On defense, Indiana. Morant passes to Brooks. Shot clock at 5. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
That kind of defense, it's almost as if they're just standing there.
Well, for the most part, they were just standing still. And you've got an easy 2 points.
Yeah, and despite his restrictions offensively, you still have to close off the lane or he'll burn you.
VanVleet kicks to LaVine. Good, and VanVleet gets the assist. VanVleet's got 6 assists in the game.
Boy, Zach LaVine, such tremendous lift on his jumper. How about that from range?
Morant reaches to Clark. Makes it off the glass.
Yeah, nothing too fancy. Just getting the job done when they need to. Make every possession count.
Here's VanVleet. Rebounded by Valanciunas. The Grizzlies trail by 6. Memphis moving that ball around.
It is really difficult to get your feet completely set, to stay completely still. It's almost surprising to me that it isn't called more often.
Harrell down low. He's covered by Clark. Beasley the pass to Harrell. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It goes on Brandon Clark.
So many NBA players like to express themselves through style as they come into the arena. For Montrezl Harrell, it's more about the shoes. This guy has gone so far as to design his own kicks.
Jackson is checked in from Memphis. Anderson comes in for Justice Winslow. Morant passes to Valanciunas. Good, and a nice assist from Morant.
I'll tell you, that's a big-time finish through contact. Jonas Valanciunas takes the bump, doesn't worry about it, just goes right through the strength.
And it goes down 2 points.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the court.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. They trail by 8. There's 53 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And now we present our New Balance Player of the Game, Zach LaVine.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
There must be something about playing in a hostile environment that drives him. He is really fed off that. Kicks it out to Beasley. Here's the 3. Buries the long-range jumper. And the Pacers lead by 9.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
And guys, boy, when you're hitting, it sure does work. It obviously opens up major options at the offensive end.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Harrell. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That's on Jaren Jackson.
Well, Harrell is not going to back down. Hangs tough and finds his shot opportunity. Gets to the foul line.
He's off on the free throw, unable to get that second one to drop in. Over in the corner, Allen. It counts. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5. And here are the Pacers now, and that's an intentional foul. And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second.
And the edge Kuzma plays with is terrific. A tough, versatile player who plays with a real hunger to keep getting better.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies. They're trailing by 6. We've got 13 seconds left to play here in the 4th. We've got 13 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And now we've got the intentional foul. Good on the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And so both free throws are good, and it's an 8-point game. Winslow with it. Here's Conchar. And so the Pacers take the win. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a... Then it's Zach LaVine. Then it's VanVleet. And it's Beasley in at the small forward. And for Oklahoma City, we've got Gilgeous Alexander. Horford is out there with O'Neal. And it's Jerome in at the point guard position. So off the tip, it's Oklahoma City. Pass to Horford. Over Harrell. And good. And it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. Now for the teams that are clearly rebuilding, should they simply play the young guns, Greg, no matter what, or they make them earn their minutes?
Kev, I don't know that there's a right answer to that. I think it's really about the personnel and the personalities of the guys on that roster. And really, the front office should play a big role in that as well. But it's a hard call. You got to believe enough in those young guys to say, hey, that's our future. We're going in that direction. But you still got to also take care of your veteran guys who are kind of setting the table for your future.
Outside, Gilgeous Alexander. Here's Jerome, covered by VanVleet. Lock at 6. Gilgeous Alexander against LaVine.
You're worried about the drive from Gilgeous Alexander. He can still get in the mid-range and do damage.
VanVleet passes to Beasley. Good, and VanVleet gets the assist.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
So first quarter just over a minute and a half in. Got a piece of it. Harrell drives in to the middle. LaVine kicks to Robinson. VanVleet passes to Beasley. And it's off from three-point range. Down low. And he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
Yeah, just solid work on the back end of that play.
Yep, you're right. Finished hard with two hands on that stuff. VanVleet passes to Harrell. For 3, LaVine. The Thunder pull it in. The Pacers beat them last time when these two teams met in Indiana.
In the NBA, you've got to keep pace. It's a fast track out there, and I thought their lack of hustle defensively was the story of the game.
You can't allow any opponent to shoot that kind of percentage. If you do, it's just going to be so tough to keep up.
The Thunder shooting their first free throws tonight. The first trip to the stripe in this one.
And their success rate on the season, right around 77%.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. Near the three-point line, it's Thomas. And once again off the mark by Indiana. The Thunder leading by 3. Some firepower from this offense tonight.
Yeah, they got a nice groove going right now offensively.
And a fast break now for the Pacers.
Beautiful transition offense there. That's execution at its best.
Yeah, once you burst through a seam like that, you got to look right towards the rim. Sweet play.
Ariza outside. Over Caldwell Pope. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. And some good action in the books as we get back to the game that's been pretty close here so far. What stands out to you from Oklahoma City in this one?
Boy, their offense looks really good when everyone's in sync. Terrific first quarter.
They couldn't ask for a better one right now. Just a complete rhythm by all the guys who got some minutes. Wonderful start.
And now brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So for Oklahoma City right now, they've got Trevor Ariza, and it's George in at the 2-guard spot. Akusevsky, the pass to Ariza. Shot clock at 6. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
A strong finisher around the rim. Ariza with the size to do some damage.
No coverage that time. Caldwell Pope's got the lead up to 1 now for the Pacers. Here's Jerome. Ariza outside. the middle. Jerome, good. 6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, both teams still kind of feeling their way through this game.
And Trevor Ariza is going to pick up a foul here. That's his first foul. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Mitchell Robinson's checked in for Gasol. Harrell comes in for Rudy Gay. LaVine's checked in for Alex Caruso. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Isaiah Thomas. Greg, I think of you in a New York Knicks uniform, legendary arena you played in. What was that experience like?
Kevin, intense. I remember the first time I suited up in a preseason game. We played the Dallas Mavericks. Both teams went up and down the court 3 times and nobody scored, and the fans started booing. And that's when I knew this is a little bit different. You better bring your A game.
And thicker skin, correct?
That too, yeah. Fortunately, there was no social media or internet back then. Goodness gracious.
LaVine kicks to VanVleet. That's good, and it's... assist. VanVleet's got a pair of triples in the second now for the Pacers. Gilgeous-Alexander against VanVleet. Gilgeous-Alexander, good. Gilgeous-Alexander's got his second bucket tonight.
Gilgeous-Alexander is such a tough cover for opposing guards, especially at his size.
VanVleet passes to Robinson. Caldwell Pope kicks to Robinson. For 3, VanVleet, and the Pacers another 3.
The defense a step slow, and you can see the results.
Pass to Poirier. Outside, Horford. To the left wing. A fader. The shot, no good.
That might not be the shot they want him taking, even with the D backing off.
Caldwell Pope. Lead pass was put in just the right spot. Caldwell Pope's got 4 this quarter.
All heart from Caldwell Pope there, using every ounce of strength to muscle that shot in.
2 points, that one goes.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
Now here's LaVine. Right on the bucket.
And a natural score. LaVine is content to try his luck from just about it.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following
the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you. For the Pacers, the first quarter was pretty even. Some good action during the period, as it was just a one-point game at the end of one. They showed a lot of it. And that's...
And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. Fred VanVleet really making a difference here.
Well, through the first 2, he has been nothing short of a marksman from deep.
Yeah, you would hope the defense at least would start to consider creeping up on him just a little bit.
And so in the game for the Pacers, Harrell is out there with Robinson. Then it's Fred VanVleet. Then it's Zach LaVine. And it's Beasley in at the 3 spot.
Zero hesitation from Shea on that play.
Pacers leading by 6. Beasley outside. Carries it from 3-point range. Beasley's got 6 points.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Up their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triple.
Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
There's no doubt that the way that Montrezl Harrell approaches the game, he is the heartbeat of a lot of the minutes that he's on the floor for any club.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Rudy Gay's checked in for Robinson. Alex Caruso comes in for Zach LaVine. And it's Isaiah Thomas in for Fred VanVleet. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break.
Well, you know, teams look for +6 players whose wingspans exceed their height by a half foot. Montrezl Harrell is a 6'7" player with a 7'4" wingspan. If you're struggling with the math, ladies and gentlemen, that's a +9.
Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. Clock at 6. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. And between his length and his athleticism, Montrezl Harrell well suited for that role of small ball center, Greg, in today's NBA.
Yeah, I mean, he's fearless. Even giving up a few pounds, a few inches, he'll go right at you and making steady improvements as a rebounder year over year.
Beasley for 3. Ariza with the rebound. And it's Ariza with the ball for Oklahoma City. Trailing by 13. And after this one, they're home against Minnesota. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home. And the Thunder making a switch here. Dort's checked in. And Indiana with a change here, too. Caldwell Pope's checked in. Here's Beasley. And it's Beasley finishing it off.
And Beasley at 6'4", able to rise up and throw it down.
Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Pakusevsky. Here's Beasley. Out to the right wing. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. There's the pass to Ariza. Will it go? Second shot opportunity. Pakusevsky with the bucket.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
No good from Beasley. And Rudy Gay picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Now, Gilgeous-Alexander. From deep three-point range, missed. And so it's Indiana. 13 points up at the end of the period. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, a great job with the eyes. And what separates great playmakers, as we know, is peripheral vision.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. They've got Horford. O'Neal is out there with Gilgeous-Alexander, and it's Dort in at the 2 spot. That's the lineup out there for the Thunder. 4 on the clock. Here's Beasley. He's covered by Gay.
Well, mid-range is where he makes the money. So when the D's slow to get out on him, always surprising to see him miss from there.
Greg, I know you've played for some great coaches in your day. What is it that separates the truly elite coaches, in your opinion, from just coaches that are pretty good?
I think the one attribute that's most important for a great coach is consistency. And I've said this, you can coach a lot of different ways, you can win a lot of different ways, but you've got to be sincere and true to your principles and your philosophy. And those are the coaches, and I've had them that have done it different ways, but they've been the most successful. And listen, you've also at the professional level, you've got to have a presence about you. You got to have some charisma out there as well to get these men to buy in.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. They're trailing by 17. 1:51 left in the game. Both teams deciding to change it up. Just over a minute played here in the fourth. Poirier passes to Gilgeous-Alexander.
Gilgeous-Alexander, a very, very good ball handler. And when he explodes at that size, creates problems.
Now here's VanVleet. D right on him. Here's LaVine. Launches a three, and Indiana another three.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Pacers.
You know, a team can have a great shooting night without getting a lot of assists, but tonight they had both.
Yeah, and listen, you only get the assist if the guy you give it to makes the shot. So a lot of assists will up your field goal percentage, but this is a great team effort by everyone.
And I think a great job in positioning themselves for the W here. It's win number 21 on the season.
Really, they had their number this season. 2 wins, a home win, and an away win.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Fred VanVleet.
It looked like a couple times they might be wearing him down, but not the case. At the offensive end, he was just devastating.
Gilgeous-Alexander hits them both.
Such a long and versatile guard that possesses a very intriguing and exciting skill set. Gilgeous-Alexander, lots of room to grow. He's so good at getting to the rim, maybe tries to get a little bit too cute with that one. I thought he'd lay it straight up and in.
Indiana controlling the game. Here's LaVine. Oh, wow!
And they came in determined to take this one. It's going to be a happy flight home.
Yeah, when you step into an opposing team's arena and you can play with this type of composure, boy, that food tastes good on the way out of town.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock, and that's good. Robinson picking up the assists.
Making every effort to put this game on ice.
Love that the guys are staying aggressive late in this ball game, just not wanting to let go of the rope.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
He gets really smooth sometimes. Gilgeous-Alexander has some size, and he challenged the defense with it that time.
Both good from the line that time. 12 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And stolen by Miller. Gilgeous-Alexander surveying the D. So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. This one was over well before the final ball. Starting lineup. You've got Fred VanVleet, Beasley out there with Harrell. Then it's LaVine, and it's Robinson in at the center, filling out the middle. And for the Pistons, Griffin is out there with Plumlee. Then it's DeJuan Wright. Then there's Derrick Rose. And it's Bay in at the small forward. So the Indiana Pacers able to put the first points up on the board. Here's Harrell. Beasley. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt. On tonight, Greg, two teams with a lot of history that know each other very, very well.
And sometimes familiarity breeds contempt. Yeah. And that goes for the players, coaches, and fans. This one might get heated.
I'm sure you've felt that way many times when you play.
Almost every time I took the floor.
Good.
You literally want to dislike your opponent.
No good from Beasley.
He found open space from mid-range. Just maybe rush his release a little bit.
The Pacers have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Robinson finds Beasley. And that's good. Robinson picking up the assists. Beasley's got his second bucket of the night.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, that's because he's getting his number called early. I mean, he's doing his part to help carry the offensive load.
Now here's Griffin. And that one, good.
That's the right way to play Griffin. Tough, physical defense, but even that isn't enough. If you let him get inside.
And when he first came into the league, Blake Griffin's dunking made headlines. And while I'm sure he enjoyed that, he was also eager to show that there was more to his game.
And you know, Greg, in the past, Griffin felt at times criticized as being a one. Dimensional player.
I tell you, Kevin, I think he's answered those critics. You look at his passing and his development as a shooter, one of the more complete offensive players in the league.
The Pacers making a change here. Pau Gasol is checked in for Robinson. Gay comes in for Harrell. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for Malik Beasley. And Thomas subbed in for Zach LaVine. And yes, it's good.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you had to bring much faster help than that.
Now here's Okafor. Count it.
Okay, listen, you got to body him up when he's in the paint. If you play off of him, then that's just 2 easy points.
VanVleet looking around. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Pacers have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. He throw good, VanVleet. And so VanVleet nails both of them.
Oh, not many players with the more steady hand at the free throw line than this fella.
Outside Griffin. There's 21 seconds left to play here in the first. Rejected by Gasol.
And really, Gasol does an incredible job getting his hands up in the air, which results in a ton of rejection. When you find yourself up double digits in the first quarter, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah, true. But now it's about sustaining their energy and maintaining the focus.
1 second left. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's Indiana holding on to an 11-point cushion as we get ready to take a break. And so far through 1 quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And guys, we've seen a confident-looking Pacers team out there.
Yeah, in that first period, they looked to push in transition at every opportunity.
With the game being fast-paced these days, you can expect this from a lot of teams. They did it very well.
Okafor out there with Griffin. Then there's Grant. Then there's Hayes. And it's Trier in at the shooting guard position. They're the group Detroit will start the second with. Now here's Hayes. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. 3 on the clock. From deep. It's rebounded by Indiana.
And maybe he thinks he has that type of range, but I'm not sure
who'd agree with it.
Yeah, not everyone has Steph Curry's shooting ability. I'd be surprised. I'd be hurt if he tries another one like that again.
Here's Grant, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's going to be on Rudy Gay.
And the combination of athleticism and defense Grant brings is superb. A guy who you can depend on to compete.
The Pacers making a switch here. Mitchell Robinson's checked in for Gasol. Harrell comes in for Rudy Gay. Beasley's checked in for Caldwell Pope. And LaVine subbed in for Isaiah Thomas. Now here is Robinson. No good that time. Plumlee with some nice D. Stolen by Robinson. Pistons trail by 9. Greg is a young player. One of your mentors was Patrick Ewing. How valuable was that to have that kind of guy tutoring you, mentoring you as you were just getting in the NBA?
I tell you, he was the consummate professional and really an incredible leader by example. This guy spent infinite amount of hours in the gym in the offseason honing his craft, first on the floor, last to leave it throughout his professional career. And that's something he had in common with all the truly greats who ever played the game.
Robinson with the block. LaVine feeling it out of him. And LaVine throws it down.
Stellar awareness from LaVine. I mean, seeing an opening and ripping through it with this relentless athleticism.
Here's Bay. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Now Rose. Sweet little floater.
A near impossible shot to guard against. Rose continues to torment defenses with the delicate.
Whoa, what a finish!
Run that back. I want to see the replay now.
Easy to see why LaVine won the dunk contest in 2016. I mean, he has endless ups.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here.
Trying to find some answers offensively.
Some bad shot selection as well as some bad luck. I mean, that's not going to help you score points.
So for the Pistons, Okafor is checked in for Plumlee. Blake Griffin comes in for Jeremy Grant. And Hayes subbed in for Derrick Rose. The Pacers also changing it up. Rudy Gay's checked in for Mitchell Robinson. Kentavious Caldwell Pope comes in for Malik Beasley. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Alex Caruso. And LaVine throws it down.
A blur in the open floor. LaVine is great at hustling and converting in transition.
Pistons trail by 15. Now here's Hayes. Pass to Griffin. Over Gay. And so it's the Indiana Pacers. Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings. Fred VanVleet had a huge first quarter. He had 8 points and 1 assist. And Kenny, that about...
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. Fred VanVleet really making a difference here.
And he's shown just how adept he can be at creating contact and then cashing in at the line.
Yeah, I mean, showing that tenacity both mentally and physically.
And after a very lopsided first half, see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Pacers leading by 15. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On the court for Indiana, we've got Malik Beasley. LaVine is out there with Fred VanVleet. Then there's Harrell, and it's Robinson in at the 5. Home in the paint. Here's Griffin. Robinson with the block. And it's on a bounce to the Pistons as Detroit retains possession. Here is Plumlee. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. 6 to shoot. He's hit again, and that one's good. Right.
They needed that. They were getting a little tense after starting the half 0 for 3.
Harrell kicks to VanVleet. Hits the three-point bomb. VanVleet's got 11.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Here's Griffin. Rebound by Harrell. Harrell's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
Only 1 for 5 to start the half. I mean, whatever adjustments they made at halftime weren't the right ones.
Kick out to LaVine. Harrell against Griffin. Back to LaVine. Shoots the 3. And the Pacers another 3.
A decent threat from downtown. You got to see LaVine nailing this shot more and more.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Robinson with the block. And LaVine, here we go. And he uses the glass on the layup. LaVine's got 5 points now in the quarter.
They couldn't have asked for much more from him today. He's been a key force in their offense.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
Poor rotations. I mean, slow help and just not enough toughness on the interior. They've got a lot to talk about.
So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Rudy Gay's checked in for Harrell. Contavious Caldwell-Pope comes in for Malik Beasley. Alex Caruso is checked in for Zach LaVine, and it's Isaiah Thomas in for Fred VanVleet. Detroit, no good that time either.
And guys, not sure where his head was on that shot. Not what this offense was designed to create.
Come on, you can't be selfish. You got to be willing to make the next pass. Otherwise, you're just predictable.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
Starting to take over here, building a big lead that could ultimately prove insurmountable.
Pass to Griffin, right wing. And here's Hayes. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Over Caldwell-Pope. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
Boy, you can just see the frustration growing on their faces. Nothing going their way.
It's something that happens to every team. You just have to ride it out, play your hardest, and live with the results.
And here's Grant. He'll bring it up for Detroit. And following this one, they'll take on the Hornets in New Orleans. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. Hayes with it. Passes it to Griffin. Over Gay. Can't get it to fall.
And the way Gay gets right in the jersey of the shooter is what is so...
And so it's Indiana ahead by 26 points as we get ready for the break. Rugged defense setting the tone. We've got more in store for you right after this. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
How about the unselfishness? Night in and night out, we see guys trying to force their own agenda. Not that time.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. They've got Tumboya. He's out there with Jackson. And it's Stewart in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group for Detroit right now. Here's Thomas. It's deflected. to the wing right side. Gasol finds Gay. Caruso, the pass to Gay. The three from Thomas. The shot that time, not on target. And it's Detroit the other way. A new generation of players, Greg, coming into the NBA alongside your son Cole. We've got a lot of players who I think are going to have a long-term impact on this game.
There's no doubt about it. Listen, I hope Cole can have the kind of impact that some of these guys are. But look at the Grizzlies. I think they got two terrific ones. Ja Morant has superstar written all over him. Brandon Clark probably surprised some people with his ability to have an impact. And if you look at this past draft, Obi Toppin is one to watch. This is a guy with great size and length who was a perimeter player until he had a growth spurt. So those are the types of players that I think when you combine athleticism and skill with the way the court is spaced, man, can have a tremendous impact in this game.
That's the perfect setup. Solid screen, defender can't avoid it. Opens up a clear path to the bucket.
The three from Thomas, and he's good on the three ball. Thomas got 5 points in the quarter.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Pacers.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And so looking at their number, this will be win number 22 on the year.
And they cap off the season series with one more win. It's been nothing but W's, 4 straight.
And while there was some nice performances tonight, it definitely ended up being a solid outing for Robinson.
Oh, he was a scary man at the defensive end with all those blocks. Even the shots he didn't get a hand on, he affected. He forced a lot of misses out there tonight.
Hayes, he's checked in for Alonzo Tripp. Then for the Pacers, Kyle Kuzma's checked in for Mitchell Robinson. TJ McConnell comes in for Rudy Gay. And it's Peyton in for Thomas. Caruso, the pass to Kuzma. Indiana moving it around. Peyton, the bounce pass. Here's Gasol. The jump shot from the baseline is right on target.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
Showing remarkable poise and focus throughout the game, a sustained effort across the board.
First free throw is good. That one falls, so he hits both of them. They've shared the load offensively.
And guys, they've put the defense on their heels. You can see right now they're trying to react, and that's what you want when you're in a rhythm offensively.
Fades away. No good from Gasol. And Detroit has possession. Here's Mikhailuk. He's covered by McConnell. Goes up on the wing. Detroit, no good that time either. Kuzma, left side, over Jackson. So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it. A breathtaking view of the New York City skyline is taken from the Empire State Building. We're coming to you live from Manhattan. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us on 2K Sports. NBA action is coming up. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge joins us from the sideline. And our third month into the season, things becoming a little more clear in the power rankings. Taking a look at San Antonio. They're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And looking at Indiana, they just kind of burst out of the gate here with some fire, feeling disrespected by pundits who overlooked them.
got time for a quick pregame.
Hey, Kevin.
A little patience indeed. That's interesting. Thank you, David. Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. They've got Robinson. Harrell is out there with Beasley. Then it's LaVine, and it's VanVleet in at the point guard. And for New York, Warren is out there with Julius Randle. Then it's R.J. Barrett. Then there's Bradley, and it's Noel in at the center, locking down the middle. Now, here's Warren. That's no good. Couldn't get his first shot to go. Beasley with it. Now defended by Randle. Stolen by Warren. And oh, here we go. Warren's got it. The fast break chance. And the shot goes in. Warren's got the first points up on the board here for the Knicks.
Warren being opportunistic there, getting out on the break and then finding a way to capitalize.
VanVleet passes to Robinson. That shot, no good. So New York will take it the other way. Fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
And it was one of those games where it was just hard to get anything going. And you could see frustrations emerge.
And you know what? Even though it was a frustrating night shooting the ball, they found a way to get it done and pulled it out. And a win's a win. And that ultimately is all that matters.
Greg, the two words you and I don't like the most in this game, load management. Why do we see more of it now than when you played in the game?
A couple of things. I think sports science has evolved, and I've talked to a ton of coaches about this. The reality is that now they don't determine whether or not a guy's going to play. It's going to be the people that work with the strength and conditioning. They determine if a guy is ready to go. And secondly, I would also say the contracts now, the investments that teams have in these assets, you want to try to prolong their careers as long as possible. And so I think it's a smart move from an investment standpoint.
You bring up some great points. Bradley with the bounce pass. Warren against Beasley. Outside Warren. Ball's knocked loose. 5 to shoot. They get it back. Noel. And good that time.
And Noel really does a nice job in reading angles of shots. He really excels in avoiding box outs because he's so active. And he typically beats guys to important spots near the basket.
And that one is good by Beasley.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Bradley deciding where to go with it. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's going to be on Montrezl Harrell.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Omari Spellman has come in for Noel. Toppin comes in for Randle. And it's Burks in for T.J. Warren. Caldwell Pope kicks to Thomas. A 3-ball. And there's Caldwell Pope. That's good on the assist by Thomas.
I think Caldwell Pope has done a nice job developing into a legit deep ball threat.
Here's Spellman, defended by Gasol. And Thomas over to help. The pass to Spellman. And here's Burks. From the arc. And it's Rudy Gay with the rebound. Outside Thomas. Passes it to Gay. Great pass to set up the lay-in.
You don't want to leave guys free when Thomas has the ball. He's really good at finding the open man. Solid possession there.
And so the first quarter is in the books. Pacers out in front. Recently, we had a chance to speak with R.J. Barrett about what was a trying first year. Barrett, a guy who's accustomed to winning, at least as an amateur career.
I mean, he won a championship in high school, could have won one in his only year of college. He's going to be a driving force for the organization to get better.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far, halfway through the first half in this one. And when you consider how the Pacers are doing, guys, what do you think?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
They've got them rattled. It's only the first quarter, and already they've made enough big plays on defense to last really an entire game.
All fueled up and ready. ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. On the court for the Knicks. Toppin is out there with Barrett. Then there's Alec Burks, and it's Ntilikina in at the point.
Ball distribution was there. I mean, outstanding work all the way around.
Thomas passes to Gay. There's the triple. Caruso, no good. Knicks trail by 5. Pass to Burks. Here's Ntilikina. Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone. Back to Burks. To the right side. Here's Ntilikina. No good that time. And up the court come the Pacers on the break. And the basket by Thomas.
Yeah, first and foremost, he's a pass-first team player, is Caldwell Pope. Love seeing that.
So it's Ntilikina who brings up the ball for New York. They trail by 7. This game against Indiana, the first time they've met this year.
And this, the first of 3 games these two teams will play against one another this season.
Yeah, you know, these are two rival teams that will see each other a fair amount this season. We'll see which team can tip it off with a win.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Noel's checked in for Amari Spellman. Ando comes in for Toppin. And it's T.J. Warren in for R.J. Barrett.
Ntilikina working in the pick and roll. Fun to watch. Excels at firing passes through the defense right on time.
Back to LaVine. The tray. Hits it from three-point range. LaVine's got the lead up to 8 now for the Pacers.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Up top, Warren, covered by Beasley. Warren, good.
You know, I like seeing Warren do work inside. He might be a three-point shooter, most known for that, but he's still 6'8". You got to do some work in the paint.
VanVleet finds Beasley. The three-pointer, no good. The Knicks have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. Over in the corner, Warren. The Pacers pull it in. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
And you gotta love a team that can maintain its composure on the road. Take good shots and knock them down with confidence.
Well, efficiency is critical, and I love how they ran their offense and got quality shots out of their sets.
Stolen by VanVleet. On the wing, LaVine over Burks. Back to LaVine. It'll count. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back. So it's Indiana who's out on top at the half. They have an 8-point lead. How about you, Shaq? Thanks for joining.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. You look at Zach LaVine, he's really been playing well.
And even with the defense shading towards him on every trip down, he still finds a way to come up big.
Well, we're not surprised by that. No more than what we've come to expect of him. He can adapt and adjust to anything a defense tries to throw at him.
And so in the game for the Pacers, Mitchell Robinson out there with Montrezl Harrell. Then it's Malik Beasley. Then it's Fred VanVleet. And it's LaVine in at the 2-guard spot. And LaVine, here we go.
And there you see it right there on display. The quick feet, the long strides of LaVine helps him in a lot of ways.
Knicks trail by 12. Outside Brent. At the elbow, Randall. That one falls. Greg, when you played for the Knicks, I always heard that Charles Oakley would cook for the players. Is that true?
Absolutely. Oak was very particular about his food. And I got to tell you, he knows his way around the kitchen. And to be honest, I would never tell him otherwise.
Well, what was his special?
Whatever he made was special. Wouldn't matter.
Amari Spellman has come in for the Knicks. Toppin comes in for Julius Randle. Then for the Pacers, Gay comes in for Montrezl Harrell. And it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in for Malik Beasley.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
Yeah, if that's a harbinger of things to come, he's looking at having a very very big second half.
3 for 3, and that's always a good way to start the second half.
Here's Spellman, guarded by Robinson. Spellman the pass to Warren. To the inside. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Hey, T.J. Warren is definitely a scorer. He's got a shoot-first mentality, but he'll give it up if you're open.
VanVleet with it, and it's Toppin picking him up. VanVleet with the bucket.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
You know, he should be getting extra attention from the defense, not less.
And Caldwell Pope gets the basket.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here.
Every time out, a chance to review the lineups, matchups, or call a play.
And I agree. I think there's going to be a new wrinkle in their game plan when they come out of this timeout.
A different look for New York. Burks, he's checked in for T.J. Warren. And Frank Ntilikina's subbed in for Bradley. Isaiah Thomas, he's checked in for the Pacers. They get it back.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it. They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And have to admire how hard Barrett goes. This kind of assertiveness is what makes defenders feel uneasy.
Noel's checked in for Amari Spellman. Pacers leading by 15. The three from Thomas. Drills it from outside. Thomas got 5 points so far.
It's amazing what Thomas can do with that rock. I mean, he's got perfect control of the dribble leading into the shot.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Here's Barrett. Another shot. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. That's good from Noel.
The former Kentucky Wildcat Noel is a phenomenal defensive player who's really starting to find himself on offense as well.
Julius Randle's checked in for New York. Pass to Robinson. Outside Thomas. To the paint. With 1 on the clock, and Robinson with the layup.
And you know, when Thomas focuses on involving his teammates, it really lifts them. A capable passer.
And so it's Indiana. Point lead to close the quarter. They've got their... And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. So it's Randle bringing it up now for the New York Knicks. It's an 18-point game. Barrett and Randle are in the forward position. Alec Burks is out there with Bradley. And it's Noel in at the 5 down low. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks. Gay right side. Outside Thomas. Some nice passing here by Indiana. Nailed from 3-point land. Beasley's got the first field goal of the 4th quarter here for Indiana. Thomas against Bradley. And Noel kicks to Bradley. Inside. Here's Barrett. Goes back up. Burks in the corner. Good on the 3-point shot.
And you see the passing instincts Barrett has. Great at recognition out on the floor.
Burks with the steal. And here's Bradley from 3. That shot off. And it's the Pacers taking it the other way. Their biggest lead of the game was 21. Gay finds Thomas. Now here's Harrell. He's covered by Noel. Harrell down low. Noel on him. The offensive rebound. Gay trying to break free. And it's Harrell missing.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
And New York making a change here. Warren's checked in. Mitchell Robinson's checked in for Indiana. Dean comes in for Alex Caruso. And that was a great replay we just saw of our Mobile One block.
And he's all over that shot, has it read the whole way and gets the position he needs to make a play.
And Mitchell Robinson is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. And a whole new group out on the floor right now for the Knicks. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Pau Gasol is checked in for Mitchell Robinson. Kyle Kuzma comes in for Montrezl Harrell. TJ McConnell, he's checked in for Malik Beasley. And it's Elfrid Payton in for Thomas. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Knox. Tries again. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's on Zach LaVine. What do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Pacers?
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
Yeah, but I also like the balance because they're doing a great job of getting inside and converting around the rim. I really like their aggressiveness.
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for LaVine.
Yeah, you got to be careful how you defend Caldwell-Pope because he's got great speed and he knows how to use it to draw contact.
He hits both from the stripe.
And although it seems like KCP will never be a huge factor on offense, he can still give you valuable points and also that spacing he can provide out on the floor.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It's a valuable tool kit that he has because he can provide some playmaking and shot making and spacing on the floor. And he's also become more efficient as an offensive player. But he does know and recognize that his strength is at the defensive end. His athleticism, mobility, and versatility. And offense is tertiary to his contribution.
And there's the foul. It'll go on TJ McConnell. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. The first one falls. He's perfect from the line this time. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Now the pass to Caldwell-Pope. Fires for 3. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist.
And it's just competing, you know, giving your best when it matters most.
Yeah, you know, once they got victory in their view, a huge injection of energy and a great run to finish it off.
Here's Smith. And the layup's good off the glass.
Smith showing outstanding concentration on these hard shots, even as he's getting hit.
Payton attacking. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
Boy, a fantastic performance. And I tell you something, I mean, you get roadkill, that's always a challenge in the NBA.
what's good.
Welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Coming up next, the Clippers taking on the Pacers. Hi and welcome everyone here on 2K Sport. And now a moment to check out the leaders in the All-Star voting. Balloting underway.
And this is really a fun time of year. You're starting to see which players are going to be in the running to make the All-Star team.
You look at Robinson. He's got a claim in the final place in the Eastern Conference starting lineup. He's 5th in fan voting.
And it's been a season to remember for him so far. And it'll only get better if he can hang on to that starting spot for All-Star weekend.
And we'll keep you posted. As the voting continues, and the Clippers starting 5. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Williams. Then it's Ibaka, and it's George in at the 2 guard. And for Indiana, VanVleet out there with LaVine. Then it's Malik Beasley. Then there's Harrell, and it's Robinson in at the center.
And Smitty with LeBron getting into his late 30s. KD coming off the Achilles. For your money, is Kawhi Leonard the best player in the world?
Great question. I know one player, the Greek Freak, might have something to say about that. No less than Michael Jordan himself called Kawhi the best two-way player in the game. That's a very strong endorsement from MJ.
And here's George. After the three-pointer from Zach LaVine. 2 on the clock. Good as the jump shot falls.
High offensive IQ. He makes great reads and adjustments on the fly.
VanVleet kicks to Robinson. LaVine for 3, and that's good. Robinson picking up the assist. And it's 9 points for Zach LaVine. Last outing for Indiana. They won that game against the New York Knicks. Williams finds Ibaka. Back to Williams. Outside, George. Knocks it loose. And Zach LaVine gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Some changes for Indiana. Rudy Gay's checked in for Robinson. Caldwell Pope comes in for Malik Beasley. And Thomas subbed in for Fred VanVleet. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Zubac is checked in for Ibaka. Patterson comes in for Marcus Morris. Kennard, he's checked in for George. And it's Patrick Beverly in for Williams. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, a bit ago, Teron Lou and I were able to chat. Coach was saying that he feels Zach LaVine is still underrated as a star in this league. Coach said when LaVine gets going, there's just no way to stop him. He's one of the most natural scoring threats in the league. They certainly will respect LaVine's explosive offense tonight. Guys?
Thank you, David. Now LaVine. Kawhi Leonard missing from long range. And he makes that one.
The question for Zach LaVine coming in, will he get strong enough? There's your answer.
Caldwell Pope against Leonard. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Pau Gasol is checked in for the Pacers. Alex Caruso comes in for LaVine. The free throw good from Kawhi Leonard.
And guys, even though he's in a big market, Kawhi Leonard's still not one for the spotlight.
That is so true. It's not about the fame for him. He's in LA, but Kawhi Leonard stays in his bubble. All the trappings that come with being a great player, he's truly focused on the love of the game, winning and being the best possible player he can be. A pretty good defender. Gay using that 7'3" wingspan well. Get that shot out of here.
Caldwell Pope passes to Gasol. Thomas outside. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. And it's 6 points for Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, we're seeing some fireworks from them already.
They established the pace. They made shots. This is why they're way out in front.
And so earlier tonight, we spoke with Paul George about how they've integrated.
Everybody has a chip on their shoulder.
Break that last point is key. This team plays lockdown defense.
And that's a big part of their identity. Most teams talk about being well balanced. This team lives it.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And for the Pacers here, they've been putting on a show, guys.
I know it's early, but all those three-pointers, boy, do they add up.
That's their strategy. Try to overwhelm you. Try to put you in a hole you have to dig yourself out of.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got. We've got Kawhi Leonard. Kennard is out there with Patrick Beverley. Then it's Ivica Zubac. It's Kevin Gellion at the four-man position. Greg, if your system overall for these teams, if the schemes don't seem to be working, how much can you really change before you get to the offseason, or in particular, before you get to the playoffs?
It's never easy. A system change would come typically with a coaching change, and the reality is you also have to evaluate the roster, and you can't fit that square peg into a round hole. Whatever your system is, it's got to be catered to the personnel you have. You can't go the other way around, and I think that's what separates oftentimes the good coaches from the great ones.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here. So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for Zubac. Marcus Morris comes in for Kawhi Leonard. George is checked in for Luke Kennard. And it's Williams in for Patrick Beverley. Now here's Williams. No points in the game yet for him. Ibaka finds Williams. Lets it go with the three. Good on the triple.
Quick feet, quick release. Hard to check Lou Williams from beyond the arc.
Lou Williams, so crafty, GA. Just a knack for putting the ball in the basket.
This guy just has the gift. I mean, it's been that way forever. He is just a born scorer.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power. Hammering down the two-hand slam. And so here are the Clippers following the score by Indiana. Harrell with it. It's Ibaka picking him up. Harrell kicks to LaVine. Now here's Harrell. Defense is right there. And Harrell slams it down hard.
Woo! Big man. Love when Harrell takes off like this to drop the hammer.
Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for the Clippers.
And as he gets deeper into his career, Serge Ibaka's shooting continues to improve. What a great job he's done of changing how he scores.
It's very impressive because a late bloomer Serge Ibaka has been on the offensive end. Let's look at last season, his highest point per game average, and he's in his 11th NBA season. And still has great efficiency on the offensive end, but sometimes he's overlooked as a scorer on this team.
For three, Beasley, first shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
And here's Morris for three. It's rebounded by Indiana. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
Well, on the road, you don't expect to look so comfortable on the offensive end, but that was...
And so it's Indiana with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back. Zach LaVine led the way in the first half. He had 14 points and 3 rebounds. Thanks for joining us.
The big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. You look at Zach LaVine, he's really been playing well.
Well, through the first two, he has been nothing short of a marksman from deep.
What can you say? Shooting is a premium in this league, and you can see why.
They've got Zach LaVine. Harrell is out there with Robinson. Then it's VanVleet, and it's Beasley in at the small forward position. So that's the group out there for Indiana. And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Zach LaVine has so much talent, and people just want more. But you can't argue that he produces in so many areas.
A three from Leonard. George, that's It's a two-pointer. The Clippers rebound. Ibaka lays it up and off the glass.
You know what? He got himself into perfect position in the paint. Did a great job of really just defending his position, corralling that board, and then getting the finish.
Harrell with it. Williams picks him up. They double him with George. LaVine for three. And again, it's the Pacers from deep.
Completely on his game. Hasn't missed a shot all night. A big part of why this team is winning.
The pass to Morris. Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to be on Montrezl Harrell.
And a guy who's bounced around the league a little. Surprising, given that Morris is a solid shooter and a pretty good defender and rebounder.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for Malik Beasley. Alex Caruso comes in for LaVine. And Isaiah Thomas subbed in for Fred VanVleet. Clippers trail by 20. The three. Rebound by Harrell. Pacers have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. Thomas against Kennard. Thomas passes to Harrell. That's in there. Thomas with the assist.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Leonard looking over the floor. On the wing, Morris. Offline with his three. Pacers leading by 22. It's Caldwell-Pope with the drive.
And you see the quickness of KCP bursting to the rim.
There's 49 seconds left in the third quarter. Thomas against Beverly. Pass to Morris. And here's Kennard. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And again, it's the Clippers missing. The Pacers have gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Caruso kicks to Robinson. For three, Caldwell-Pope. And the Pacers another three.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And that one is good.
Right there, that is poise of Kawhi Leonard, just taking what the defense gives him.
Near the three-point line, it's Thomas, and so it's Indiana, holding a very comfortable 25-point lead as the quarter comes. And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Greg, you were drafted 12th overall by the New York Knicks and then 2nd overall by the Grizzlies in the expansion draft. So you've had a very unique view of being in that position in 2 different settings.
Yeah, I mean, 2 very different cities, but really each beautiful in its own way. The New York draft, obviously coming out of college, that was like a dream come true to go and play for Pat Riley and then get the opportunity to go and be a part of a brand new team in a new country, if you will, was also a really cool experience as well.
I hope we can take a petition started by you and me to get the NBA back in Vancouver.
And Seattle, right? Let's get back in both those cities.
Exactly. So for the Clippers right now, Luke Kennard out there with Patrick Beverly. Then there's Patrick Patterson. Then it's Paul George. It's Kevin Kelly in at the 5 down low. Los Angeles making a switch here. Williams is checked in. Passes it to Kuzma to the left side wing. Indiana moving it around. Gasol's in the post. No good from 11 feet. And here's Williams now. He'll bring it up for the Clippers. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Elbow shot is on the way. Gasol with the rebound.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Pass to Caruso. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. The Clippers shooting around 41% on the night. And it's Williams. That time the assist by George.
Going teardrop, Lou Williams, pulling out all the moves. He's got them.
Pacers leading by 22. Gay left side.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Indiana.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, but an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And so this is going to end up as victory number 24 on the year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Zach LaVine.
High-level shot making, what we got a chance to witness. He responded to good defense with better offense time and time again.
Here's George. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
At OKC, Paul George showed he could be an MVP caliber performer. With Kawhi on the Clippers, he could be that 1B or that 1A.
Miles checked in for Rudy Gay.
The consummate team player, Paul George is an excellent leader, and he's cool to let others lead also.
Here's Gasol, and it's the Clippers with the rebound. Here's George. Caruso grabs the miss.
Yeah, and he had the knee tangled up there with that patented crossover. Just couldn't convert the finish.
It's Gasol missing.
And that is the exact type of opportunity this offense is looking to create.
You know, if you get the ball to the right guy in the right spot, more often than not, you're coming.
are
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Downtown Indianapolis moving at warp speed in this time-lapse footage. We're in the basketball hotbed of Indiana. Welcome, everyone, to a great Sunday night with the NBA here on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and a pair of Hall of Famers with us, Doris Burke and David Aldridge. DA, take it away.
Hey, Kevin. Most people know that the Celtics are big proponents of analytics. And their star Jason Tatum said, it's helped me a lot, knowing what works best. It starts by attacking the basket, trying to get more layups and free throws. That opens up the game. Not avoiding mid-range shots, but getting in a rhythm first. And it's been working. Kevin?
It sure has. Thanks, DA. Let's check out the Eastern Conference standings now that we're in the new year. Take a look at Indiana. A terrific position for them as they hold up that illustrious top spot, but it's a long season, as we all know. And, of course, the Boston Celtics, just a few spots below there.
And seeing where Indiana is, they've been a revelation here in the early going. Some people, including myself, had doubts about their plan coming into the season, but no question, it's working.
You know, it just looks to me like they're having fun out there, and sometimes that's contagious. It drives success. This is beautiful.
So let's take a look at the Boston Celtics starting lineup. Round the small floor with Tatum holding down the 4 spot. Smart is out there with Teague, and it's Tice in at the center filling out the middle. And for the Pacers, we've got Malik Beasley. Montrezl Harrell is out there with Mitchell Robinson. Then it's Zach LaVine, and it's VanVleet in at the 1. Tatum's shot is off. And a fast break now for the Pacers. LaVine with the ball. No good from Beasley. Poked away. Beasley with the steal. Back to LaVine. Beasley kicks to LaVine. And stolen by Tatum. And now, just over a minute played here in the first. Outside, Smart. Back to Tatum. Fires from deep. Poke loose. Pass to Smart.
They are 0 for the game thus far. 0-4 here, still looking for their first win. And Doris, when you're identifying the heart and soul of this Celtics team, Smart is always at the center of that discussion.
Marcus Smart is so passionate. He's so tough, so willing to get down and do the dirty work that affect winning. And consider the role he's taken now as the leader of the Celtics. The ability to mentor a young guy like Grant Williams. Marcus Smart, you want him on your side.
And here is Tatum following Fred VanVleet's 3. Here's Tice. Robinson with the block.
Wingspan, athleticism, verticality. Robinson with authority sends it back.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. So the Celtics called timeout. They're first. Coming into this having notched a win against Cleveland in their last game.
They played terrific defensively. The few cracks they showed, guys were quick to rotate and help each other out.
We talk about multiple efforts on the defensive end, and I thought, boy, that was good old-fashioned focus, team effort. What a win.
Stolen by Caldwell Pope. Up the floor. Rips down the breakaway slam.
Well, any point guard who involves his teammates is automatically going to raise the offense. Go ahead, IT. We see you with that pretty pass.
Now here's Walker. Now the pass to Nesmith. And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Boston again missing.
Boy, against so little defensive pressure, you have to convert that.
Yep, it counts.
And the story here kept. Early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Walker against Thomas. shot to stop the run, and Walker with the layup.
I'll tell you, the combination of the quickness and the handle, Temple Walker can get separation against anyone. Man, is he fun to watch.
And you know what? They've been on a nice run here, had the ability to widen the gap. Now they are rolling.
This is a dominant stretch.
And so it's Indiana with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. And we'll be back with you shortly. And before the game, we checked in with Marcus Smart, who told us how his upbringing helped shape his approach to the game.
I'm the youngest of 4 boys. So as anybody who has siblings, older, younger, you understand the struggle, especially being the youngest. You know, you always got to fight for what you want.
And no question, Smart is considered one of the toughest guys, Greg, in the NBA.
You have to love his passion, his willingness to sacrifice his body for the team on a nightly basis.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Pacers?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
I think across the board, a number of guys who've done a great job guarding multiple positions.
Rudy Gay is out there with Pau Gasol. Then it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Then it's Thomas. And it's Caruso in at the shooting guard. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Pacers. Thomas gets the bucket. No doubt, Greg, you are known being a gritty, in-your-face defender. And when you think of the most hard-nosed point guards in the NBA today, who comes to mind?
For me, I think Chris Paul. I go first because this guy, one, he's a phenomenal two-way player. He'll do whatever it takes to win, even if that means pushing the envelope a little bit. Pat Beverly is another guy, just a flat-out bulldog. Marcus Smart, I think, falls into that category. Again, it's not always about being the most talented, but if you bring an edge about you, that really permeates throughout your team. So those are some guys. Drew Holiday is another guy I'd throw into that mix as well.
Yeah, they all lock in. You're right. Pass to Williams. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
And one thing Williams has, a lot of natural strength. You can play him physical, but most of the time he's going to win that battle.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. And a new group in for the Celtics. Jason Tatum, he's checked in for Thompson. Brown comes in for Nesmith. Smart's checked in for Green. And it's Teagan for Walker.
Now, how about breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk?
A nice way to pad that lead a little more. You're right. Robinson with the block. And so it looks like the Celtics will retain possession here. Daniel Tice is checked in for Boston. There's 1:17 left now here in the second. Out that one, the Indiana lead's been cut down to 9 in the bucket from Jeff Teague.
Well, this to me is one of the best aspects of Teague's game. He is an exceptional catch-and-shoot guy.
Robinson passes to LaVine, and that's good. Robinson picking up the assist. LaVine's got 5.
Unwilling to let up, even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score. You lock in on the moment and play the right way.
Now the Pacers moving it up. Here's VanVleet, and he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
Well, just high-quality transition opportunity right there from Fred VanVleet. This guy is so reliable to make the plays necessary in transition.
Teague against VanVleet. 30 seconds left in the second quarter. Now Harrell. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Here's LaVine. Great D that time from Teague.
Well, defensively, if you allow him to get this close, you're playing with fire. He just happened to miss that one.
Smart misses. On the wing, LaVine. Pass to Harrell. Back to LaVine. Over Teague. And so it's Indiana. Their lead at 15.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what a show being put on here for the home fans tonight. I'm Ernie Johnson, and things were going Indiana's way from the beginning. A smoldering performance. And it's just about to...
Second half upon us. We'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. VanVleet really making a difference here.
Yeah, and just look at the numbers from the first half. He has been very efficient.
I think they've taken their time. They've showed incredible patience. It's a sign of a well-coached ball club.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now. Brought to you by Gatorade. All filled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. On the court right now for the Celtics. Round the small floor with Tatum holding down the 4 spot. Teague out there with Marcus Smart. And it's Tice in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Teague kicks to Tice. Brown outside. Back to Tice. Pass to Teague. Clock at 6. Shoots from 14. No good on the shot. And Indiana will come the other way. After this game wraps up, they're off to Atlanta where they'll take on the Hawks. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. The NBA continues to build international academies to develop prospects from other countries. Already, academy graduates are playing Division I college basketball. Before long, NBA players should start emerging from that pipeline. He continues to reach out to find overlooked youngsters who have a gift and give them the opportunity. Guys?
Outstanding, David. Thank you. Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Rudy Gay's checked in for Montrezl Harrell. Contavious Caldwell-Pope comes in for Malik Beasley. Alex Caruso is checked in for Zach LaVine. And Isaiah Thomas subbed in for Fred VanVleet. Just over a minute and a half have passed here in the third quarter. Down low. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Thompson, he has such a low, wide base. He is near impossible to fully box out.
Thomas against Walker. Thomas passes to Caruso. That 3 off the mark. Celtics trail by 17. And Walker gets it to go on the assist by Brown. Walker's got 6.
How about the outstanding concentration from the veteran? Kemba Walker so adept at staying in control through these finishes.
Back to Thomas. Uncovered. Good. He's got 9.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
35 seconds left to play in the third. Teague finds Brown. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's going to be on Rudy Gay.
How exciting is Jaylen Brown as a basketball player? This guy is a skilled forward who loves showing off that ability to dunk the basketball.
Harrell, he's checked in for the Pacers. Zach LaVine comes in for Alex Caruso. Neesmith, he's checked in for Boston. And here's the fast break. Walker leading the way. Banked in off the glass.
Well, you can watch Kemba Walker see that play develop, and the explosive speed ensures that he's going to finish.
Harrell, 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
The Pacers have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line.
Boy, what you appreciate nightly about Montrezl Harrell is he leaves nothing on the floor. This guy plays with ferocity, with energy, and he's turned himself into a legitimate threat.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly. And so it's the Indiana Pacers up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. Their defense has been terrific in this game. We come back right after this. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard, putting the pass right on the money.
He's got the size to survey over the top of the defense and find the open man. That was beautiful.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. We've got Rudy Gay. LaVine is out there with Fred VanVleet. Then it's Malik Beasley. And Harrell's in at the center position. So that's the group out there for Indiana. And LaVine throws it down.
Montrezl Harrell, opportunistic with his defense, makes a play there.
And so it's Walker with it who brings it up for Boston. 17-point game. Tatum against Gay. Tatum passes to Nesmith. Drops in the layup for 2. Your son Cole Gregg was one of the top high school players in America. A lot of services had him number 1. Talk about what it was like going through the recruiting process as a dad.
You know, it was fun for the most part because he really kind of kept everything in perspective. And the teams we dealt with, the schools we dealt with, man, they were all top notch. So that process about as enjoyable as one could ask for. But at the same time, it's still stressful, man. That's still your little guy getting ready to head off to college.
Well, you're a dad and a proud one at that. Robinson's checked in for Rudy Gay. Shot's good by Walker.
Listen, if you're going to give Kemba Walker that kind of shot, he will take it. Makes it look easy.
Beasley outside. Good, and VanVleet gets the assist. Beasley's got 6 here in this quarter.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
And guys, boy, when you're hitting, it sure does work. It obviously opens up major options at the offensive end.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the Pacers.
Tonight, they seem committed to the three-point shot.
That was the bread and butter. Fortunately, they made enough of those, but sometimes it was quantity over quality.
And guys, at this point in the long NBA season, this will go down as win number 25.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Fred VanVleet.
What you love about his performance is that he is simply taking what the defense allows and then making the most of his opportunities. I'll tell you, that vertical ability he has puts him in select company in NBA power forwards. May not have great size, but boy, he plays bigger than it.
Back to Harrell. Over Smart. Nails the baby hook. And the Pacers lead by 20.
Convincing lead with very little time remaining, and the fans are pumped.
Well, they're getting ready to celebrate, no doubt. They know it's theirs to lose at this point.
You can appreciate the fight now, but it isn't how they came into the game.
No doubt. It felt like they were a little tight for much of the evening. Now they're in a better flow, but it may be too little too late.
For 3, Beasley, and Tatum pulls it down. Outside, Walker. So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. This game may not have been the most exciting.